All right, what's happening, bud?
Oh, not too much, man. Kind of weird doing this so early.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I almost
Yeah,
suspect that might even be water in your cup.
it is. We we are hotter than a hand job in a wool sock here today. Like absolutely fucking violently hot.
So, what's the temp?
Uh oh, it's well over 100. Like,
Shit.
well.
So, I want to say today is our first day over 100 this year.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah, we've actually had a pretty tame summer so far. And then, sure as shit, I'm driving home, stop at the grocery store to grab a couple essentials, and of course, I got like yogurt and some dairy cheese, stuff that you want to
Oh,
get
you're
home
back
for.
on that shit now.
Yeah, well,
Right.
like in moderation. Like I'm not, and I would never really gouge. So I think the biggest thing that I'm conscious about is glycemic index. Like just trying to
Okay.
keep the sugar levels lower. But other than that, yeah, like a lot of pretty much everything goes. So do the grocery shop. Lewis is flying into town tonight, so I want to make sure I had a couple things. And going up the toll road, and I see like a bunch of smoke, and I figure whatever, someone's burning something, and the smoke gets really black, and I'm like, okay, something's on fire that shouldn't be on fire.
Yeah.
And smoke's one of those things, like it's actually further than it always seems. Like it seems like you're kind of like chasing this like endless path to where the smoke is coming from. So
It's like walking around in Vegas where you're like, oh, we'll just go down to that next hotel
yeah,
3 hours
or like
later.
yeah, and like Dubai, right? Like, oh, the Burj Khalifa, it's right there. Meanwhile, you can see it for miles and miles and miles. So um there's an exit, the first exit that's usually a lot of trucks that, I can take to go home, but the smoke sort of looked like it was at the interchange of that exit. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to keep going to the next one. Well, bad idea because the smoke was just over the crest of the hill on the other side of the exchange. So here I am, and like they got the road shut down. It was a transport truck that the whole cab like disintegrated, fuel tank exploded, like the
Ooh.
whole ordeal. So I'm like, first day over 100 and shit's already catching on fire. So
Yeah.
I fucking grab all my groceries out of the back seat, throw them in the passenger seat, throw the air conditioned seat on high, blowing the AC. So I'm in the E60 M5. So it'll freeze you like an ice cube in there. So I'm like, all right, I've created my own. And I shit you not, like the car was idling away, and then all of a sudden I hear it do like this weird little idle shit. And I'm like, this motherfucker's about to drop a coil. And then burn.
No. Oh, I think he dropped a coil too. Definitely froze up. Maybe the Texas heat's not good for internet either. Ladies and gents, I don't know if you can still hear me or not. This makes for an awkward recording
All
when
right.
you're Oh,
So
there you
yeah,
are.
Starlink
You dropped
drop.
the coil too.
Yeah, so Starlink drop. So all the fucking lights are on in the dash. The red line now changes to 4,500 RPM. And like it's smart. So if it detects a misfire, it'll actually shut the fuel injector off to that cylinder so you don't wash it out.
Huh. What year is that car?
Oh six.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
got heavy duty fault mode. Like that's like domestic level 2020-ish fault level, and Beamer's doing it back in the early 2000s.
yeah. So I was probably there for a good what felt like an hour, was probably about 20-25 minutes. And they got the fire put out and managed to clear the way, and I managed to make it home. So
So what's
um
that thing like to limp home on 7 cylinders?
well, it's 9 cylinders.
Oh, right, it's V10. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
So
oh,
it's
right, and this is the for some reason I had in my head, I don't know my Beamer categories all that well. I'm thinking it was your red one.
Oh, I got you. That one's an 8 cylinder. So
Right.
yeah, the 9 cylinders, like you can feel it. Like there's an imbalance. So it kind of like it flutters and you get a little bit more vibration through the body. Oddly enough, like as I was driving it, you could feel like that coil was like the light had shut off for like 5 seconds and it would come back on, sort of like depending how it was like maneuvering the throttle pedal. But
Right.
anyways, I'll grab the codes off it, and the day kind of got all misplaced. So I had my follow up CT scan this afternoon. So I was all the way down, like man, honestly, if someone wants to make good money, get into the CT business because I feel like everybody is getting need scans, CTs or MRIs or whatever. So
Yeah.
trying to schedule this thing, soonest appointment between like 10 locations within 30 miles from me, was like a 3 week wait. So
Really?
um, finally got in today. Like they could probably get you in sooner if like you're in dire need, obviously, but just like standard routine checkup shit, yeah, there's some wait time. So hardly any traffic getting down there. I got out of the appointment 2 minutes before the appointment was supposed to start. So
Ooh.
extremely efficient, timely. I'm like, okay, this is going great. However, then Lewis tells me, oh, my flight just got delayed. So I'm like, it sucked because I was just going to burn some time down south and because I was not too far from the airport. And I'm like, okay, well, screw this. I'll go back home. I'll hit the grocery store. So then I get screwed in this fire traffic stuff. And whatever. Here we are. No Lewis, unfortunately. Still got my band here from my IV. I'm sure I can pop that off. Yeah.
Remind me again,
So
buddy, is the CT scan the one where they load you up with the nuclear shit and they send you into that? Okay, it is. I've had one of those too then. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So there's some chatter on the interwebs, which there's always chatter of everything saying that the contrast dye is not good for you,
Right.
or that it's like leading to what probably cancer, like everything else.
Yeah.
So,
Going
um,
in to see if you got no more cancer in you and let's
yeah.
load you up with shit. Yeah.
So, my nutritionalist though has, and I'm gonna have to check and see what this supplement is, but it's
Yeah.
actually to help you detox. So, I take it twice a day, 3 days before the scan, t- twice the day of the scan, then 3 days twice a day after the scan. So like a
Hmm.
full week run. And I guess what it does is it prepares like your kidneys and your body and whatever to just like flush this shit out. So like you, I'm drinking a shit ton of water so I can get this crap out of my system.
Yeah.
Um,
Pee like
and
crazy.
interestingly enough, he told me he's like, man, if like you're in a pollution based city or you're exposed, he's like, if you're painting shit and he's like, you're hoping the wind's bringing it, away from you, but you get some whiffs. He's like, take these pills and they'll help your body detox any pollutants or bad shit out of your body.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a funny one. I want to say that there was a pod that I brought this up on one time before, but um I I've been down those roads of like, trying to fix all one's ailments with like some sort of materialistic whatever it is, pill, drink, and I mean on the natural side of things too, ladies and gents. Whatever. I'm the type of person, if I've never said this on here before, Advil expires in my cabinet. Okay, like there's nothing else that goes into this system other than beer and chicken wings. You know what I mean? Like all the other pharmaceutical shit, I stay as far away from as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So the point in saying all that though is I cannot help but think, and this has become way more prevalent the older I've become, that a happy soul is the key to a good life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like how many people do you see that smoked their whole lives, lived to be 104? Like it's, I think you can really truly throw yourself into a tailspin the more that you concern yourself with this. Now, it's not to say that, the things, there's a lot of things you can do to just sort of like oil changes. You know what I mean? Like change the oil, check your brake fluid, like do all those things, but don't change your oil every 15 miles. Like you'll drive yourself nuts.
Yeah. So with that, what's interesting is that my nutritionalist swears, he's like, cancer is usually the result of trauma. And it can be
Right.
emotional trauma or it can be physical trauma. And, part of me feels that not my last, my two last now, colonoscopies, the one that I had in Dubai, that once your colon has like a hairpin turn in it.
Yeah.
And to get that scope past that turn sometimes is a little challenging. Well, it took like three nurses holding me down for them to get the scope to like and pressing on my abdomen. Like in
Oh,
there, they
geez.
don't use I think propofol is the drug or the what is it? The knockout
Like in,
medicine of choice here.
yeah.
Whereas in Dubai was fentanyl. So the fentanyl, like I was pretty much awake, like I was sort of out of it, but like there was enough that I knew that that hurt like fucking hell.
Right.
And funny enough, that's where my cancer was. So to me,
Mm,
it's like, well, how much trauma did you cause when you passed that scope through there? Again, as preventative.
yeah.
And is that what actually ended up screwing me over? Now, whatever, you never
Yeah.
really know the truth, but there's something to be said about, positivity versus like traumatic or like depression or like all those other things. Cause I think, yeah, like your body knows. And if you're not active or you're not whatever, that sense of trauma, like just think about it. If you're not in a good mood, it means that something neurologically in your mind isn't happy, which means your cells aren't happy. And if your cells aren't happy, well, they're going to do bad shit.
Totally. Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting thing, man. So, fingers crossed. I'll probably, if I don't know tomorrow, I should get the call on Monday and hopefully they don't see anything in there and
Yeah.
move on with life.
Right. That's good, buddy. Hey, as long as we're kind of dabbling on the edge of tinfoil hat shit and conspiracy related things, um, I changed my alternator out. So I don't know that I brought this up on the pod, but I know you knew about it. God damn it. If anyone watch it, I know some people watch this on YouTube and you'll see me fucking around with these lights in my garage like every 20 minutes. Worst decision ever. Whatever the fuck brand these motion sensed lights are, I should have never done them. And I never, ever, ever will install these things ever again. My thought and theory when we built this place was how great would it be to just leave the switch on for the lights in your garage? And then when you leave, they'll turn off on their own, whatever, right? Well, if you sit still, right, they go off. And here we are trying to record something, and I'm waving and looking like a complete schmuck.
So I remember the one college that I worked at, they had that same technology in the men's room. And I remember I'd go to do my
Go in
business
for a shit.
and I'd be in the stall, the fucking lights go out and it's pitch dark. So you're like flailing and you can't get it because you're in the stall. So it's like open the door and sticking your arm out. Like obviously the lights are going out because you're alone in there. So it's like unless someone just happens to open the door at the right time. But oh man, that was always like just fuck, you know.
Yeah. Doing the penguin walking around with your pants around your ankle. Hey, turn the lights on. Fuck. Okay, so anyway, the alternator. Have you ever seen one of the SVE LMR 200 amp alternators?
I don't think I've seen the 200, just the 130s.
Okay, they're fucking identical. And to make my tinfoil hat vibrate a little harder, the 200 has a smaller pulley on it.
So you're thinking it's just spinning faster for the amperage.
I don't know, dude. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm like,
hey, those
son of a
pulleys,
bitch.
you don't need a puller to get that pulley off. So you could literally like take off the nut, do a pulley swap,
Right.
and measure the amperage and see if you cut it down to 130.
Well, here's the thing, bud. So to throw salt in the wound, I did a little bit of pregame recon on this just to make sure that, like, where I'm going with this is you go on there and they sell, these two alternator options. And I think maybe outside of the two different amperages, you've got like, gray or black, or maybe not even that. I don't know. There's a couple little options. The one thing there isn't an option for that I could find anyway is you can't just buy the fucking power generation unit. You got to buy the fucking power wire. You got to buy all the shit. And they soak you for 400, like before the smoke clears. And I'm like, Jesus, Murphy, like this is easily double what I should be paying for this thing, right? Or
Because like
close to.
the last 130 I bought from Rock Auto set me back like $67.
Okay, so 3-4 times, you know what I mean? Like we're talking multiples here. So yeah, so once I see these two side by side and I see the pulley and the housing's the same. Now, I'm no electronic genius. I don't know if there's differences in the guts of these. There could be, maybe the winding, the whatever. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, I just got soaked 400 US for a whole bunch of wire and shit that will not go to waste, but I do not need. I'm not opening the bag because I'm already wired with the 130 kit, and you get all that in the 130 amp kit.
Right.
And then I see the pulleys. I'm like, son of a bitch. Right?
So is the gauge wire in the kit like the standard 8 gauge still, even though it's a
Everything's the
200?
same. Same fuse block, same everything. Yeah. Like,
Oh boy.
so I don't know. I don't want to start a whatever, kick the beehive here and say things I don't know a lot about, but I'm just saying if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, you know the rest.
Well, like I said, man, you could always swap the pulley and just do a little comparative analysis. Make for a good video.
True. The actually one kind of neat little win out of this is on the 130 amp, it's like that kind of anodized brass colored pulley. And on the 200, she's like a silver brushed thing. So I'm like, okay, we had a little bit of win there, right? It's the only like bronze colored thing I got under the hood.
To be honest though, like it might just be depending what who their supplier is. Like for all we know, they're just getting them from Rock Auto,
Yeah.
using this
Building the
part
wire
number
kit.
and repackaging with their wiring kit and sending them off.
Yeah. I will say though, I haven't measured amps or anything, but I do know from the little cruise I went on last night, doesn't matter what I turn on in my car, nothing phases that amperage gauge anymore. Like she's just like diesel level. This bitch is putting out power.
So are you over 13 whatever volts? Are you seeing like 14.1 or anything now at idle?
Yeah, I did. And I mean, this is something that maybe might make me sound a little stupid here, but whatever, right? I'm always good for that. Um, as I'm driving down the road doing some data logging, I can monitor this through the quarter horse, right? You can see like the actual digital output of that alternator. And so fire the car up, obviously going to do a little data log here, make sure I'm seeing like 14 plus. Yep, sure enough, I am. Then I go out, run all these other goofy little things, MAF voltages and stuff that Buddy wants to see. And I happen to look over my voltage gauge, and it's like, this is all on the laptop. And it's like 12.5, 12.6. I'm like, what the fuck? I just went to a lot of trouble to not see that happen. But this is where, maybe there's something in this alternator that I'm not appreciating, like the regulation side of it. I don't know. Maybe it's high tech in that it's regulating itself down because it's sensing that the battery's up to speed, right? Or
Yeah.
charged up.
Huh. Well, yeah, you'll have to keep
You know
us
what I mean?
updated on what happens.
Yeah. And now for anyone out there that I guess doesn't really know the backstory, I did a little video on this too. And I tried to explain like, because I think a lot of people, especially with these cars, think 200 amps, like Jesus Christ, are you hauling around a fucking RV and you're charging the battery bank on that? Like, what are you doing with 200 amps? Well, here's my justification to myself. On the 130 amp, when those fans would kick in, and obviously that's where you're going to see your highest draw of amps. You know, you could watch that poor old gauge not bottom out, but definitely you were working the shit out of it just to flash the fans up. Then, God forbid, you know, maybe I had somebody over at the house and I was dropping my air ride and filling it up and doing whatever. Then that hits, and I got two massive Viair compressors that want to start at the same time, right? And then I don't know, maybe you got home after a couple of wobblies with your buddy and your stereo's still fucking cranked, right? Like that, even the 130, I think, was breaking a pretty good sweat
Yeah.
when everything hit at the same time. So now the 200, I mean, I don't know, you'd need a magnifying glass, I think, to see it drop if all three of those things hit all at
Right.
the same time.
Well, that's cool, man.
So,
Well, hopefully it works out. You can see I brought a
yeah,
special guest for us today.
I see Mr. Meow. So what's funny is when he did his little kind of soiree around behind you there when he first walked in. So I don't know what that is back over your left shoulder. Looks like a backpack maybe with a yellow stripe on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, am I fucking seeing things? Did I get too much sun today? It looked like that backpack moved, but it was Mr. Meow's tail going by it.
No, I mean, I felt bad for him, right? Because Brittany's up in Canada and I've been putting in super long days. So the poor little bastard's all alone all day. So I'm like, you know what? You
Bring
can be
him out.
shop cat for tonight.
Totally. Okay. Fill me in. What the hell is going on with this 93 Cobra? You baited me with a little bit of a pull video the other day. And not a pull like everyone's maybe picturing in their head either.
Yeah. So I got it to the body shop. Last week, I guess. And they got it up
Are, the,
on the frame
are these
machine.
the guys? These are the guys that were going to try to rectify what was going on with the old. I'm gonna say it E60.
Oh yeah.
Right. These are
Yeah.
the guys. Like they know their shit. Okay.
Yeah, so, like, they got the lasers, all the specs, the measurements, the pullers, the know-how, and everything else. Like, they're a proper, full-blown collision outfit, and, conveniently enough, they're 12 minutes down the road, if that. So,
From the
yeah,
shop or the house?
from both, actually. It's, like, right in the middle.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's sorta like, "Hey, guys, whenever you're ready, let me know because it doesn't matter if I'm at one place or the other, I'll be right there." So,
Yeah.
yeah, loaded the wreck smashed Cobra up, brought it over. They got it up on the frame machine, and to be honest, it's the first time I've ever seen a Fox on a frame machine. So it's pretty cool, right? They jack it up, and they got great way to straighten out your pinch welds. So it's
Oh,
probably almost like a 10-inch section on the rear that clamps around the pinch weld, and then same thing towards the front. So kind of envision where your torque box area is in line with the pinch weld, and where the front frame rail kind of comes down. So that's how they secure it on the machine. And it's got the posts and the chains and the pulleys and all that stuff accordingly so that they can start
so
pulling.
and no, are they okay? I'm kind of picturing, some sort of a. There's going to be like one or two massive bolts that go through this, but they're going to squash onto the pinch weld, right?
Yep. Yeah, so it's
And
like a
then,
sandwich. It's like those vice grips, welders
right.
vice grips, a glorified version of that. And then they have bolts that run through, and then that's what sandwiches the two plates onto the pinch weld and secures the car up on the frame machine,
Boy,
frame table, if you will.
okay. And then are they tying this thing straight down like south, or what way are they kind of, or are they pinning it to like,
So it's
diagonally in
it's
corners?
dude, it's floating on those pinch welds. That's it.
Oh, like they lift it up on that.
Yeah, so it's jacked up in the air, right?
Huh.
And it's so if you think about it, it's sort of like you've secured it at those 4 points that if you measured an X between them, well, the X should be like
Right.
your tram
Square.
measurements so that everything is square. And then that's sort of the basis for, the center point of the vehicle. And then whether you're working on the front side or the back side, you would look at all your different measuring points. So yeah, the
Cool.
car's floating up in the air, attached at 4 points via the pinch welds, and then all the pulls happen based off of that location. So um, I had to pull. Obviously, I pulled as much like side skirt off and stuff that was in the area of that quarter panel, tail lights, rear bumper, bumper cover, and um, they got to pull like the quarter out enough so that they can get access to like inner structure stuff. And then
Okay.
in most cases, they'll just like, because that quarter in probably 99% of situations would be getting replaced by a donor one. And we'll get
Right.
into that in a second. So what they would do is they would just cut out of the outer quarter whatever they need so that they can get access to get the hooks and stuff on to pull the inner structure out. So when they first got the car up on the machine and you opened up the passenger door where you could see the quarter at the bottom kind of pulled away from the B pillar and the rocker area a little bit, and he's kind of like shaking his head like, dude, I don't know. And the lead tech is like, yeah, you're definitely like rear panel, quarter panel, um the tail light section, and like the lower bumper thing. He's like, the floor of the spare tire wall will be able to fix, the driver's side quarter panel will be able to fix, but he's like, you're gonna have to replace all of those other parts most likely. So do a pull on the quarter panel to get some access. Actually, well, a number of pulls, and then he gets on the bumper, the actual like the bumper, not like the rebar support, like what the
Okay.
rebar would bolt to, and pulled at about 4,000 pounds per inch, and he'd get it at 4,000, and then kind of take a 2x4 with a hammer in the floor pan and the spare tire well and start like hammering to relieve pressure. So it was neat. So you could actually see the gauge go from 4,000 down to like 3,800, 3,600, which is all a good sign. So if you're hitting it in the right places, the metal and the way that they pull is they try and do the opposite of what the accident did. So,
Okay.
if it got hit at 5 o'clock, which this one sort of did, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the rear, that was the direction that they were pulling so that they could use the metal's memory to allow it to sort of bounce back. So got a good amount of headway on that, and I could actually see like the quarter panel, the outer edge was in line with the hatch again and all that stuff. And then they're like, okay, well, now we need the gas tank out and the differential out so that we can
Oh.
actually measure and look at the frame rail and all that other stuff. So they let me pull it all there, man.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it was up on the machine, and I just went to town, pulled it all out, and amazingly enough, that rear frame rail, no buckles, no bends. It just shifted a little bit in and a little bit. Was it down or up? I don't remember, but it just sort of did like a little bit of movement, but nothing in the torque boxes, nothing in the crosser that goes in between, like where your upper control arms go. Like they were actually quite amazed. They're like, this car and all the panels, the way that they were designed to take the impact, did exactly what they needed to do. So they managed to get it on 100% square, straight. Unibody is good. And um, the only panel that needs to be replaced is that quarter panel. Everything else is
Really?
savable. So,
Holy.
so then I started talking to them because I reached out to, my guys at Martin Brothers, and I send a picture. I'm like, boys, is it possible to get this piece of metal on the old French wheel and whatever other metal shaping devices you have to save this. And they're like, anything can be saved. It'll take some time, but yeah, we can do it.
Really?
So I'm like,
You don't lose the VIN code.
well, we talked about that. So it could be cut below the VIN code if I wanted to. But to me, I was like, it'd be cool if I could claim that it's all the original sheet metal on the car still.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's a process that a lot of people would be interested to see. Hell, even this body shop, we're like, man, we want to see this. So their painter has actually painted for Martin Brothers before.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
So they were familiar with, Martin Brothers work and all that stuff since they started kind of outsourcing some of their paint depending on the project. So yeah, there's a lot of interest. And they're like, well, the only difference is it's going to take twice as long to get the quarter off because we're going to try and take it off in a way that, number one, isn't going to mess it up even more. Number two, so that when we drill out all the spot welds and everything else, that it's in a position once it's done that we can weld it back on properly and that it's
Yep.
not all hacked up. So they were actually just cutting it off here this afternoon, and I'll be bringing it to Martin Brothers tomorrow. Now, I don't know if it's 100% they're going to be able to do it. I sort of took the risk and the gamble for them to take their time to take this panel off. But I've seen it in Dubai, man. Like the countries that don't have access to the parts and the resources and the materials the way that we do, I have seen this where they cut the panels off, hammer everything out from behind, and get it essentially back, and then they weld it back on the car and do their body
Right.
work and their paint. So fingers crossed, man, because I think that'd be super cool. And yeah, that's the update on the Cobra. It sounds like she's a savable project.
Right. So now, does this change the direction that you want to go with it, like ultimately?
So let's just say it's going to be a really big project.
Oh,
So I'm not
okay.
announcing the everything, but let's just say it'll be the Resto Mod Cobra of Resto Modded Cobras.
Okay. Fair enough. I thought maybe with all this, it's made you rethink some of that. But
Well, so the realities are it would be if my labor were nothing or really cheap, it'd be pretty close, I'd say, in terms of value of just, let's say I keep the drivetrain in it, just get this work done, get it fixed. I'd probably get my money back out of it, maybe put a couple dollars in my pocket.
right.
But no, I'm still, I guess, to anyone who's curious, all the interiors coming out, all the drivetrains coming out. Like it'll be pretty much almost rotisserie status is the
Right.
direction the car is going. Yeah.
Holy shit. Huh. Second life for the old girl.
Yeah. And, I just sort of needed to know that because, again, even when they first looked at it, was like, okay, that was nailed pretty hard. And as soon as I was like, yeah, knock the wires off the fuel pump in the tank,
Right.
like, um, it just didn't look good. But like, and I've got great footage. That's another thing about the shop. They were like, yeah, no problem with the camera. The lead tech, man, he's a really cool guy. He's like, so what's your like goal or objective with the footage? I'm like, well, I just want to share some of this because a lot of people are going to be intrigued on how all the metal in the body and stuff gets pulled and straightened out. He's like, okay, that's fine. He's like, there's everybody is judgmental of how another body shop operates
Ah,
and how their procedures are. And he's like, I really don't want to deal with a bunch of back and forth. He's like, I've been doing this over 30 years. I know what I'm doing, but it's just people get upset. It's like you didn't bring the work to them. I'm like, I get it. So
yeah.
no, they're great guys. And the general manager of the shop is a FoxBody guy. So he had
Oh,
some in the past. Um, knows the cars really well. And the next step now is I'm gonna bring another rear end that I have from the house, because that one, the axle tube was completely tweaked from the impact. And it'll get rolled over to the other bay up on a 2-post. And then, one weekend we'll go there and just drop the drivetrain out like K-member, like all in one. And because originally I was like, okay, I'll just, once you guys finish your part, in terms of straightening everything, I'll take it back to the shop. I'll strip everything else, then I'll bring it back for all the body work and paint. And they're like, whatever, just, we saw how fast you got the rear end out. Just bring it here, or we'll put it on the 2-post and we'll just drop it out here. I'm like, perfect.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's wicked. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, dude, about the like showing that angle of things, because I've seen, like, back in high school, I worked at a detail shop that was connected to a body shop, and I'd go over there and, say hi to the boys all the time, and they'd be in the middle of something, but I never had the opportunity to like spend an extended period of time and watch like a car go through soup to nuts being straightened out or whatever. And it was definitely a curiosity of mine. And I think anybody that's mechanically minded, like, you've definitely lost many hours of your life to those shows like How Do They Do It or How It's Done or whatever, the shows. And like, it's that. And it's on a car that we all know and love, that in a lot of cases you don't get to see, like, especially after a smash up like that, like just that inner kind of mangled up whatever and how it can be pulled back, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, absolutely, man. So yeah, no, pretty kind of exciting stuff, really. So tomorrow when I go, the quarter will be off the car, so I'll be able to get a couple
Yeah.
pictures of
Fill
it
in.
looking a little dismantled. And yeah, we'll see what Martin Brothers can do with the sheet metal.
Yeah, it is rather amazing what they can do, because, if you farted around with any kind of tin or metal, like, bend it, oh shit, it never goes back the same way. Like, so that's always kind of in the back of a person's mind, especially when you're thinking about something like this. And then it's like, if you do want to try to get anything back to where it was, usually you're overshooting the mark and then bringing it back in. But I mean, whatever, that's a very rudimentary way of explaining what they're doing. Like, this gets done all day, every day, all over the world. But yeah, so to see it firsthand, man, that's pretty cool. Especially on a
Yeah.
car that, had this guy, let's just say hypothetically, maybe he wasn't a Fox guy and this thing just showed up on a flat deck. Like, I think most body shops would have said, fuck it, scrap it, like, just crush it. But here
Yeah.
in your case, right, you being the guy you are, knowing the cars, knowing whatever, knowing this guy, I mean, I think you probably saved this thing's life, in all honesty.
Yeah, and we had that conversation, right? Because like the amount of hail and collision and the insurance work in general, that pays out the yin yang, because all of the claims that happen. So all that shit's inflated and screws the hobbyist that just wants their damn hot rod.
Oh shit, Chris dropped coil again. Maybe apparently Starlink is not all that good in the hot Texas heat here, folks. I don't know. Or Mr. Meow pulled the cord out of the wall. One of the two. Well, our apologies for the pauses and the. Oh, there he is. I hear noise.
Yeah, I was trying to get the cat since my internet dropped. Where did I lose you?
Oh shit, I was in the
Shops,
middle of saying,
collision,
yeah.
inflated insurance, all that. So yeah, so it screws the hot rodder over that just wants their car painted or a complete
Mhm.
done for a reasonable price. So, you know, obviously a car or a build like this, let's say it's in their shop for 2 months. Like how many collision jobs could they filter through? Like they could probably make 5, 10 times as much. However, and they don't necessarily need the marketing, right? Like
Yeah.
they've got more than enough work that than they need. Damn cat put a bunch of dust and dirt on me. Um, so that's the other end of it. But thankfully, them being an enthusiast as well and proper car guys. And I even said to the general manager, I'm like, look at how happy Stacy is working on something that's actually cool and not just some friggin' insurance job,
Yeah, a
And
Kia, whatever,
so
Sorento.
yeah, so that's sort of I guess the flip side of it. But you got to find the places that or build those relationships, so to speak. Because yeah, like 9 times out of 10, it's like good luck, or you're waiting forever, and you got body shop jail and this and that. And you know, they've done work for me in the past as well, so I'm already kind of familiar, and it's not like I just met them yesterday. So yeah, I'm confident, that everything will get done and get done quickly. Like shit, I was there on Tuesday for the polls. Here we are Thursday, and the quarter panel's off, ready to go. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Save a Fox Foundation.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So what time do you got to go get Lewis at?
So his flight, I want to say it's not even leaving for another hour.
And what is he, like an hour and a bit to get there to you?
Oh, about 2 hours and some.
Oh,
So yeah, there's some time.
okay. Yeah, because I guess we probably should have said this at the very start, but folks, we weren't even sure how we were gonna finagle this today, and it just so worked out in both of our cases that my day kind of fell into place, and I was home a little bit early, and Lewis's flight gets canceled and whatever, but he and I are both going on. I guess you're more of a holiday than mine. Mine's kids sporting events, but I'm taking off tomorrow to Sweden and Finland for my daughter. She's playing on this Canadian ringette team that's going over there to compete with the Swedes and Finns. And well, you're going camping, right?
Yeah, going camping, and then hopefully shooting some Dutch content for some Dutch
Oh,
documentary stuff. So
right.
um, yeah, um, yeah, try and relax a little bit. So yeah, me and Gary are going to be on summer holidays.
Yeah, which we were both. I think we both had to kind of remind ourselves because we're like, "Fuck me, how are we gonna record a pod and do this, that, and the other? We got to get a couple like pre-recorded." And I guess we were gonna have come on was having some health issues. I mean, anyway, the world always works out in the way that it's supposed to. But I think what we're gonna do is just push pause for a minute or two because what are we now? We're like 4 seasons in. We've got a silly amount of hours worth of content just tied up in this fucking podcast, let alone YouTube, right?
Like I'd say, like what we've missed maybe 3 weeks and 3 years.
4 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a
yeah,
lot.
break time. Hey, the asylum guys have been breaking. They've been dragging their ass. Only
Yeah,
doing
they
a
have.
pod every 2 weeks or whatever it is now.
Yeah, which I don't even know. I think that's gotten a little looser too. I want to say they've maybe gone like 3 at a time, 3 weeks off. And
See, and that's dangerous because we've spoken about it, right? It's like if we don't do this and we get bust out of the routine, well, we know how easy it's like when oh, I'm not going to go to the gym today.
yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. And that can be a slippery slope, right?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, well, do you want to talk a little bit about the Dutch stuff, or do you want to leave that as maybe just a cliffhanger?
Yeah, maybe a cliffhanger. Man, I sold that Vegas car already.
The Black Hatch.
Yeah, so to my surprise, because to me it was just a little black LX hatch. Like, who
Mhm.
wants that? Like, of course it's black on black, so there's a little bit of meat on the bone there. But man, I put that video out and I was like getting hounded with like how much as is, how much as is. And you know what it's like when you get these, I don't know, just random questions with no context or meat behind them. Like you really don't even want to entertain
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah.
But I had a guy
How,
who was,
the how much, not even with a question mark, like you're just getting fist
it
fucked.
might as well as be the high, is this still available?
Yeah,
Like, you
totally.
know what I mean? So I get a gentleman who is smart enough to go to my website, get my phone number, calls, leaves me a voicemail, tells me, I had Fox Body in the past, and did the thing where kids get older, you sell your toys off, and want to get back into one. He's like, I always wanted a black LX hatch. I had GTs before, and gave me some context and some meat behind it. So I give him a call back, and um, he's like, yeah, I'm really interested in the car. Like, what would you let it go for? And at this point is where I said there's two things that are really important with if I'm ready to sell this car or not. Because to me, it was I was going to throw a Dutch kit on it, go through it, make it like a nice little driver, and then kind of take it from there. I genuinely did not think that many people would be interested in, again, a hatch. So I said, the first thing is, I'm like, it's not safe for the road as is. I'm like, the brake pads are pretty much, there's almost no pad left. I'm sure the
Yeah.
shoes are in very similar fashion. I'm like, the bushings are probably not very good in many places. I'm like, I haven't driven the car. Like, so I could give you a price and it'll be, you know what I mean? It's sort of like a mystery box, or a
Yeah.
mystery fox is probably the best way to describe it. Um, and I said, the second thing is, the only reason why I got the car is because the owner had reached out to me knowing that the car was going somewhere, that it would be gone through and brought back in a way that it could be enjoyed again and not just sitting. So I'm like, for me to just sort of pass through and not even do anything, um, as nice as that is, I guess, from a financial standpoint, that's,
Yeah.
I got to do something. So, um, yeah, we came to terms. I said, let me do the brakes. Let me swap out all the control arms so that there's new bushings. Um, let me get the door panels back on, figure out all the switches, new armrest pads for the interior and everything else. And, I'm like, the paint and body is great. Nothing needs to be touched there, but, should probably have an oil change. And then he asked me about the wheels. He's like, well, those black wheels look kind of cool, but I'm kind of like a pony guy, like a set of 17s. I'm like, well, I happen to have a set of 17-inch ponies that came off the blue and silver GT.
All
That
right.
car had a SN95 rear end, so those 10s in the rear were that ghetto tire poking out past the quarter look. So I'd sold that guy a set of snipers that had the right offset, and so I had these like new chrome ponies. And I'm like, the only caveat is that they're 5 bolt, but I just took off a poor man 5 bolt conversion off a car to put a proper SN95 spindles on. And I'm like, I've got an extra set of axles. Um, and so we made a deal on that. So
Nice.
new axles, yeah, new control arms loaded with like new fresh ball joints and all that stuff. And like you could, once I got the car up in the air, it's like, when the bushings shrink and you can actually see the collar or the
Yeah.
sleeve. So it was like that. So it's like the bushings
They're
actually,
done.
yeah, like they're useless at that point. So got that all done. All the fluids are changed over. The only thing that I need is I need Lewis's foot to help bleed
Pump the
out
brakes.
the brake system and get all that old fluid, which I'm sure is more water than brake fluid at this point.
Right. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I guess Brittany's away too. So you got no brake bleeder kicking around.
Yeah, she usually does. She likes a good leg day, bleeding brakes. So, um, yeah, man. So there's that, and then I got 2 cars back into my life that arrived today.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you brought this up. So what's the deal with the Celine coupe?
So the gentleman that technically I built the twin turbo Coyote for,
Yeah.
he also bought the Celine clone car because
Right.
I posted it up one day and he's like, bro, he's like, I need that car too. And we made a deal for that one, which was owned by, my friend Charles. So he sent me a message, which is funny. It was like, 3 months ago, he sends me a message and he's like, "Man, the clutch in that blue car is something else. If I bring you out here, can you come and change it for something that's easier?" I'm like, "Sure," but I'm like, "Let me get over my health stuff first." So 3 months go by, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm all good." He's like, "Well, actually," he's like, "I'm looking at starting another business," and he's like, "I need some capital. Um, would you be interested in buying the cars back, or would you help me sell the cars?" And he's
Cars with an S, like
like,
plural?
"Yeah, so both of them." So he wants to sell
Okay.
them both, and he's like, "I'll buy once everything's back, and I got money to burn." He's like, "I'll just buy another one off you." I'm like, "Okay,
Sure.
it works for me." And so Charles, who owned the Sonic Blue car before, although he liked that car a lot, he always wanted a Coyote swap coupe. And when he saw the twin turbo car being built, he's like, "Man," he's like, "that's what I want."
Okay.
So I call him up. I'm like, "Dude, guess what car's available for you?" And he's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Yep." And I'm like, "I have no problem buying the blue car back because the blue car is like a crowd pleaser." I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll do a few cleanup items on that thing, and it'll get sold again." So yeah, did the deal. Both cars showed up today, and
Hmm.
ironically, our good friend Mr. Ronka
Yeah.
is actually in town because Celine Nationals is happening 20 minutes down the road this year.
Right. I actually seen someone, I want to say it was in the comments of your post on the blue car, and they mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he stopped by with Ford. I think on Tuesday we went out to lunch, and he's like, "Man, bring some of your Dutch cards to the Celine show." I'm like, "I can do that." He's like, "Absolutely." So I'm like, "Well, I'll do you even one better because I'm excited. The silver car is back on the road now. I got it all sorted. So I'm like, I'll bring the silver car, the yellow car, and I got sort of a pseudo Celine. That hopefully it'll be here in time, and I'll bring that over." So yeah, sure enough, it showed up today. So bring it over tomorrow to the convention center and get it set up with
Beauty.
the other cars, and yeah, have a good time.
Okay. So I'm like, excuse my ignorance, but like, what the hell is Celine Nationals?
So it's actually organized by the Celine Club.
Okay.
So it's not like an actual, it's not put on by Celine. So it's
Okay.
the enthusiasts of Celine within the Celine Owners Association, or whatever they're officially called. They do an annual meet of all Celines, of not just Foxes, right? Could be your SN95, 197s, 550s, trucks, uh, everything and anything Celine. And Celine will, like Molly will be there, Steve will be there, all that stuff. And they have a series of events all week. Like they were out in Hill Country earlier today. I think last night they were over at the Celine warehouse
Hmm.
in Round Rock here. They were down at Circuit of the Americas tonight, go karting, at the track. And yeah, show day is on the Saturday. So a lot of it too is, if I understand correctly, it's for charity.
Hmm.
So I want to say Jay told me that they allow the venue to pick the charity of their choice, and
Oh,
then
that's cool.
they cut a check, and that's the scoop.
Yeah. Do you know, is there any affiliation between Steve and the Celine Association? Or is it something like, you know what I mean? Is it almost like us starting a Facebook group based off of Fox Bodies, but we got no affiliation with Ford? You know what I mean?
I want to say it's that. Like I
Right.
think, like, at the end of the day, yeah, Steve will show up to the events and everything else, but I don't think it's like underneath the umbrella of Celine in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Yeah. You're not suing Steve if something goes sideways at the whatever event.
You know.
Hmm. Interesting. It's so wild. for me to think, like, and I'd be curious if I ever got a chance to, have an extended conversation with Steve. Like, we met him at Motor City there and stuff, right? But if you could sit him down and say to him, like, how wild is it for you that, your dream that I'm sure a lot of people told you was crazy back in the day of doing this whole Celine thing has now turned into something where people that aren't even affiliated with you, other than the fact that they like what you did, literally create groups and events and whatever, and it's all based off your namesake. And the other
Yeah.
side of this, I know I've said this to you before, but like the fact that like Steve, much like Steve Jobs, was ran out of his company at whatever point in time. And it's one thing to be ran out of your own company. It's another thing, like in Steve Saline's case, it's your fucking name. Like, yeah, could you imagine that? Like,
Well,
that's like probably worse than someone stealing your wife. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
and that's essentially it was the name, the whole name thing, which allowed me to start working with Derek and his son at Detch, right? Because that was they were pretty much like, "Why do you want to do this?" and blah blah blah, and it was me pretty much at the end of the day saying, "Listen, somebody bootlegged your body kit that literally has your initials debossed in that rear bumper." And I'm like, and they use pictures of my cars to sell their kits. I'm like, that makes me angry because they're just using photos of my car. I don't know how you're not angry or upset that
Yeah,
they're selling your IP and with your name clearly written in it. And
totally, man.
that was
It's like,
like that was literally what, you know, that last line is what made everything possible for me to, try and carry the Dutch torch somewhat.
yeah, like I don't think it's far fetched for me to like parallel this with identity theft. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's that wild. Like someone's out, putting mortgages in your name and you don't even know this person. Like it's that crazy.
Oh, it is, man. Maybe one thing, right? And you remember that old company in the 50 mags, ABC exclusive? They were like a
Oh, I don't
fiberglass
remember
kit.
that.
They ripped off the stalker front bumper, Celine kits, Detch kits. I don't know if they ever did the Xenon kit, but like, they essentially ripped everyone off. But with the Detch kit, they didn't have the Detch in the back bumper. So at least they
Oh,
ripped it off, but took the name out of it, or like put your own name in there if you want or something. But um, yeah, it's like making the joke of fake BBS wheels, like, BB5. They turn the S
right.
into five, so it sort of kind of looks same, but different.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've never had anyone do that to me, right? So I don't know what that feels like, but I've got a pretty good feeling that I can imagine myself somewhere near that. And I mean, oh,
Yeah.
and again, we went a little far off track here with all the rest of the identity theft stuff, but like being ran out, you know. But anyway, even before that, like how neat it must feel for Steve, or I don't know, maybe he's just numb to it. You know what I mean? This has been going on for so many years. It's just like, yeah, no, this is just life, and probably much like we would think, like how crazy would it be for say like a high end Hollywood actor, and no matter where you go, everyone knows you or whatever. We're like, man, that must be so weird, hey? But they're probably like, you know, been doing it a while now.
Everybody's human at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, yeah. Huh, that's cool. So you're gonna how the hell are you gonna get 3 down there? Do you got another driver?
Yeah, so John, FoxBody John, Mr. Meow's babysitter uncle.
Yeah.
So he'll drive one. He'll drive one. Lewis will drive one. And I'll drive the other.
How now is he rolling in his car again? What's the story on that thing?
Yeah, it runs and drives and all the things. We're actually gonna stick his old computer back in the car that has the quarter horse on it,
Yep.
and do some data logging, and then get Murillo to dial it in some for him. So just to kind of take care of that angle, because for whatever reason, the computer that I had with that motor that had the SCT chip, something took a dump
Oh,
because that setup was running better on a stock computer than the computer that had the chip specific to that setup. So
right.
old age, I guess. And I tried
Yeah.
put the chip in another stock computer and it wasn't. So I actually think it's the SCT chip that went bad.
Hmm. Interesting. And he's got his blower and everything on it. Like he's running it in the
Well, that
same
motor I had,
format.
yeah. So I actually had an S trim on that motor already. Like that thing was like ready to drop in, ready to go, crate motor style. So yeah, he's got a brand new Novi in the box sitting in my shop here. So you sort of got to make a decision like, do you want to build a block to really take advantage of that Novi? But if you are, you might want to look further than just a stock little 302. Like you might want to buy a dart block and get some
Right.
forged internals and like build something for boost. So, he's we'll see what happens if he goes down the rabbit hole or if he's just happy with that setup that he's got. And if he is, then we'll just make a deal for that somehow. And then yeah, he'll just keep rolling.
Nice. And what has Jord got to the bottom of his motor that took a shit on him?
So we thought it was the rats, right, that ate the injector harness and maybe messed up some fueling. But it was actually cylinder. Well, we knew it was cylinder 5. So there was two things that happened. Um, the first thing, the top of the piston was cracked from the top to like the first ring.
Yeah.
And it was just like a hairline crack. So we found that, which could have been detonation. Um,
Are those stock
or
pistons?
they were hyper eutectic, but aftermarket because that motor was rebuilt. Like there was maybe 2,000 miles on that motor.
Shit.
But the one that's a little scary is when that motor was rebuilt, they put a brand new Spectra oil pan on it, right? Because everything was new. And the Spectra pans have a coating, they're all black, inside and outside. So when Jordan took the oil pan off, he's like, dude, half of the coating on the inside of this pan literally has flaked off and jammed itself in the oil pickup.
Oh no.
So, um, needless to say, he's like, based on what he saw, he's like, it doesn't look like it wasn't like a complete oil pressure failure, but there was definitely a little bit of starvation that was going on there. So when he machined the crank, there was a little variance at the front there for that cylinder. Um, so we don't know if it's the oil or maybe a little detonation or maybe a combination of both. But yeah, that's the story. So that block, we managed to save it, and uh, it's actually rebuilt and sitting on a stand in my shop for. Did I send you the blue GT, Regatta Blue GT with the yellow pinstripe and wheels?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so it's kind of a neat looking car. You probably think like in your mind blue and yellow, like how tacky is that? Like it's almost sort of like Subaru-ish,
Yeah.
theme looking. Um, but ironically enough, I was at Martin Brothers the one day I'd brought the yellow Dutch there that time, and the front desk guy comes out to the shop. He's like, Chris, he's like, I got a couple out here that saw your car out front and they're looking for somebody to work on their Fox body. So,
Right.
and it's them that their son had passed away, and they're trying to, get the car back to its former glory, and so that they can keep cruising it around. So, so it's them, and they wanted something that had a motor. That one was really old and is puking oil out of all its orifices and everything else. So they're like, "Yeah, we want to rebuild or something else, and maybe a cam and some heads." So I had a set of Edelbrock Performer RPMs and a B303. So we jammed all that on John's old, freshly machine block, and yeah, second life.
Hmm. Yeah. Little crossbreeding of DNA from one fox to another. And
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. I remember you telling me, I don't know that we talked about it on the pod, but maybe after one or something, you told me that there was a neat little story about somebody in the whatever their late son, right? So okay,
Yep.
that's his car then.
Yep.
Oh, cool. So what does it just need a motor, or is it like what kind
So
of status is the car in?
it's like a light regatta bluish color. It's seen a repaint, and it's really clean, to be honest. Like, even when you pop the hood, even though it's leaking oil from the underside all over the place, that's just on the underside. The top side, it's like nice, fresh Cobra intakes, 24-pound injectors, some nice valve covers. Like, you could tell that it was cared for. But I think just over time and everything else, the underside, yeah, let's just say it's been self undercoated. Um,
Ah,
it's got, like I said, old Spintech mufflers on it, which I don't think I've ever seen in person.
right.
Um, so yeah, the exhaust is going to stay. The Cobra intakes will stay. All that stuff. The interior is really clean, like your traditional smoke gray tweed stuff. And it has a poor man's 5 bolt on it. So there's spacers in the front. So they're like, yeah, we want to go. So I'll put like 96 style and up spindles to get that extra 10 millimeters, and get disc brakes on the rear.
Nice. Oh shit, we're fighting internet issues again.
There we are.
There you
Man,
are.
the Starlink today. Um,
Doesn't like the heat.
so yeah, it's a two. Yeah, so it's a two-pedal car, not a three-pedal car, which might be a downfall to
Oh yeah.
some, but they're okay with it. So yeah, that's it, man. It should be pretty straightforward at the end of the day. Neat little car. Like, you can tell the son passed away in '06. So, he probably built it in the early 2000s, kind of Fast and Furious status days. So had a little bit of that import flair of having bright yellow Cobra wheels with a yellow pinstripe through the GT moldings. And it's actually got
Oh,
like some hand painted flames on the hood, like pinstripe style flames.
oh
And
yeah.
like, whoever did it, you know what I mean? Like, they did it, then cleared it, then wet sanded, then cleared it. Like, you can't feel any of the transition, which is
Hmm.
pretty neat. So it's a cool car. It really is. Like, obviously the color combo isn't for everybody, but um, it's I think it's neat.
Yeah. And it's solid blue, skirts and
Yeah.
everything.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes up a little. I was picturing like two-tone with the
Uh-huh.
yellow,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that it had yellow wheels on it too. Yeah, that's making a statement, right?
Yeah. I'll have to send you a picture of it.
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, maybe, I guess we'll never know unless maybe the parents know, but was this him kind of chasing that that all yellow Celine SN95 car, right? The vert with the yellow wheels and everything that
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, maybe.
Huh. And yeah, blue, yellow, like, thinking back to those times, purple and yellow.
Yeah.
Um, like there was a lot of that now tacky, but I mean, yellow was fucking hot, right?
Well, it's true, man. Hey, I think it's still hot.
Yeah. Yeah. You never grew out of it, did you?
Which, speaking of which, I actually I changed the steering wheel on the yellow Dutch.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, dude, it's kind of sad that we're as close as we are, and we do this once a week. But like, we literally keep up with each other just more or less on social media, right? It's like, oh fuck, Chris doing something else. Yeah, because I seen your little horn mod, like
Yeah.
my 79's got. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
So
yeah, I was just messing around, man, and I was like looking at some steering wheels in general, and then this Momo one pops up with the yellow stripe, and Detch used Momo Monte Carlo wheels, as I think Celine did as well back in the day. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cool modern, you know, Detch plus, if you will, sort of like I've themed out with the rest of the car. And yeah, I wanted to try out like that NRG hub that is super affordable, and it like fills up the whole, like, because usually the airbag guys, they struggle when they get the hub adapter, and then you kind of end up seeing the shit behind, where the
yeah.
column cover is. And yeah, man, that NRG one, it's really good. The only thing is you need to run a spacer to get it, like it's really shallow, so like your hand will almost hit the multifunction switch because it's kind
Oh,
of so far in. So I got a 1 inch spacer that goes in between the hub and the wheel just to kind of extend it out a little bit. And yeah, I think it looks all right. I think I might get our buddy Tom Clark to do like a custom center round sticker with like a Detch instead of the Momo part. But aside from that, I think it
works and
looks
feels
pretty good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Does it it's probably a little bit of a trip though, right? Like as much as all the airbag guys out there hate the fucking big bus wheel, the F-150 wheel that we all got stung with, but like when you've spent so much time with it, right? Like when you change it, that's, I don't know, like trying to think of a good analogy, but you know what I mean? It's just like your whole world's now shifted. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Something's off here. Is it that?
I want to say because I've never really been an aftermarket steering wheel guy. Like I've always liked the airbag wheel, to be honest. So like if ever I had a pre-airbag car, the first thing I would do is I'd go grab an airbag column and put an airbag wheel in because I just wanted the interior to look newer.
Right.
Like even though the car, like the Stalker Vert, for instance, right? Like that's, I don't want an 87. Screw that. I want something that looks like a 93 because it's newer.
Right.
So I've never really had a problem with the wheel. And then, it's just sort of, I'm seeing a lot of, the Ford Motorsport or Ford Performance Sparco wheel. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool in a good number of cars. So just like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna see what I can find and try it out. And it's, I figure like the yellow card is the perfect candidate, or my white notch should be another one. But the white notch should look, the Ford Performance one would look good because the writing's in white.
Mm.
Um, but like, yeah, no, like my silver car, I'm not touching that. Because nice thing with the silver car is it's like a no non-cruise, so it's technically like a Cobra wheel, so it's a little bit cleaner looking.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Did you get your AC charged up in that one yet?
No, so I not that it's really an excuse or the necessity, but my receiver dryer or accumulator, I had every single part except for that bracket that holds it up against the firewall.
Oh shit.
So even though it's there and it kind of holds itself in place because it's off the whatever coming off the evaporator,
Studs. Yeah.
um, I was like, yeah, I need that. So I actually messaged Lewis because Lewis always has like weird random bits. I'm like, hey, do you have one of these? Like, put it in your suitcase. And he's like, I swore I had one. He's like, I must have sold it with, one of his fire sales that he was doing. So here's one for you. You can order them off LMR.
Yeah.
They're like $46 or something for that stupid bracket.
Right.
I'm like, how many of these have I thrown away? And you're
Yeah.
just like, you're sitting there just pissed off at yourself. Like, why would I do that? And now here I
Yeah.
am reorganizing in the garage. Like Home Depot had a deal on the big plastic totes. So I'm like, I'm, gonna get the random shit that's loose on the shelf down. And I'm like, do I actually need this? And it's like, dude, I threw out a pallet's worth of shit.
Right.
And then I'm going to curse myself in a couple weeks' time. I'll be like,
Well,
I needed that.
That's what I was going to say. That's why we're all wired to hang on to shit, is because once, maybe twice, 3 times, maybe, have you ran into that where you're like, I knew I should have kept that shit. Right. And then it turns into this hoarder style. Like, yeah, you see a sale come up for fucking bins at Home Depot and go, hey, at least this way I don't look at all the shit scattered all over the place. I'm just going to stack it all in bins.
Yeah. Well, shit, let me run the cat into the house real quick so that he doesn't use a Recaro as a litter box or some shit.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
And we're back. Man, this pause feature is sweet.
I know, right? Convenience.
Heck yeah. Hey, so I'm glad that we did do that little pause, because while I was waiting for you, open my phone up. Instagram was the last thing I had going there. And I'm like, oh, right. I got a story to tell Chris about Instagram. Actually, more Facebook than Instagram. And this builds from some of our gripes in previous pods, right? So,
oh, you got a trender.
Well, I okay, again. And
so I got to say, you've been, I don't know what it is if you have more time on your hands recently, but I'm like, fuck, Gary's posting a lot. Or it's like you're not as shadow banned anymore, and I was just missing a bunch of your posts before because they weren't being shown to me.
No, it's the first, and it wasn't due to time. I was just like, okay, guy, like, actually going back to what we were saying earlier about like taking a break from the pod, I was starting to get pretty used to like, you know what, this social media thing's kind of for the birds. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like, what are you doing, guy? Like, you've spent a lot of years kind of doing this whole thing, like, whatever, don't let her go yet. But in the back of my mind, I think, like I've explained previously, I had a pretty good thing going with Facebook for a short period of time. And it was like right when I first succumbed to Facebook. And I don't know if I've ever told that story or not, but like, I just didn't really want to get on the whole Facebook trend, right? Not that it's even a trend. We're past trend. It was a trend, 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know. And that was my thought way back 20 years ago with it. And then I just, almost like an old crotchety man, I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm just sticking to my guns on this one, right? I'm just going to not do it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm probably missing out on a lot here. Like, and marketplace is kind of a thing, right? I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. So anyway, get in there. And then, as most people probably already know, I had a couple of videos sort of catch traction. And I happened to find myself in some real back end confusing portion of Facebook one day. And it's like, you can monetize this stuff. I'm like, I love the monetization model of content. And this is coming from a guy that's sold a lot of various things in life. And I don't mean like personal items, I mean professionally, right? I sold service rigs, I sold fucking downhole steel, I sold shit tickets and mats for Cintas, the uniform people. I fucking sold a lot of stuff. And there's always been something about the sale process, especially when it's a product that I don't really give a fuck about. If it's a car, it's different. But if it's just, you're just selling this to feed your family, that has always sat weird with me, right? Because you kind of feel like you're begging for someone to buy your shit. Then on set, the monetization model of just watching something. And if it's good and it's funny or it's captivating, like, everybody wins. And it's no money out of anyone's pocket. It's all happens in the back end of these platforms, right? So I love that model. Anyway, so I'm like, fuck yeah, monetize. Anyway, and then something happens and I get thrown in Facebook jail, right? Well, it's probably been 12 months that I've been in jail. But as of late, maybe the last couple of months, Facebook's on a go again. But they've still got their fucking boot on my neck and they're not letting me monetize, right? So it's like, oh yeah, keep making content, dickhead. We're going to keep benefiting from all your hard work, but we ain't going to share any of it with you. Right. So anyway, I'm like, I wonder if there's a way to fix this. And there definitely is not. I've spoke with a person on Facebook. I know this is going to sound like a lie, but I don't know how I did it. I was, clicking support, and somehow I got to a point where I had a back and forth email with a human being at one point that turned into a phone call. I can't even remember what the issue was for, but it wasn't this monetization issue. And they fixed my problem, just like any customer service you would expect from any other outfit would do, right? Anyway, you think I could go back on that email train or like find a fucking phone number? It's almost as if they've wiped my hard drive, like no way of getting in touch with anyone. So, I happened to just see a reel the other day of this guy. It's kind of like a podcast format, and he claims in this short form reel that he either did or does work for Facebook. And he's like, yeah, man, you can't get a hold of anyone there because there's no human beings. Like the handful of them that there are, they're definitely not there to answer phones or help you with a problem. And this is why so many people have issues with trying to get anything solved. Like, God forbid their AI program thinks that you did something against the community guidelines, like it did for me. And then you're just fucked. You're on an island, right? So, at the end of this guy's video or his little interview podcast thing, he goes, the fix to all this is getting verified. And I'm like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Right. So I go on this hunt to try to figure this all out. And lo and behold, when you go through the initial steps of like verifying yourself, it says you get access to communities, or not community, like actual support from Facebook or whatever. I'm like, okay, this is worth whatever, $20 a month to me. Right. And the whole, I guess, safety net is cancel anytime or whatever. But there's more to this, like, that meets the eye from a psychological aspect. There's something in my internal wiring where that blue check mark doesn't sit well with me. I don't know why. I think it, I don't know if I was just raised so like ridiculously humble that is just too much. It's like you're kind of announcing to the world, especially in the format that it is now, where you can like just pay to do it yourself. It's not like when it started and they would give like celebrities a check mark or whatever just to kind of prove that it was really and truly them. So now that you can pay to do it, I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't sit well with me. But last night, Gare got verified.
Blue check mark.
Yeah, I got the check mark. I did. And I haven't tried this whole thing out yet, like the customer service end of it, but you can guarantee it's coming fast. Like, listen, you fucks, if I'm paying, you're fixing. Because I know for a fact that I haven't gone against any of these silly guidelines or whatever. And since Zuckerberg has been like a born again, like, American badass, and now he's going to let anything fly on his platform and whatever else, it's like, okay, dude, like, and actually, since all that, they have gotten a little more detailed to kind of like show you, or at least steer you where you may have messed up. You want to know what mine is? And now this is paraphrasing too, but they think that I have done things that would attract people to watch my stuff that otherwise wouldn't, through like some sneaky format. I'm like, what does that even fucking mean? Like, so I'm trying to make people laugh. Does that mean comedians are all like selling a shitty bag of goods? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I
Man,
mean, I could read it to you. It'd take me a minute, but like it's this most ridiculous reason to unmonetize anyone.
yeah, I got some shit on TikTok. Like, and I don't post much on there, but like I can't follow anybody Like I followed 9 people initially, and I can't follow anybody past that now.
Like, what the
Whenever
fuck
I
is that?
Yeah, and then like now when I post something, I'm constantly getting some political blah 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 strike, and it's just like some random, like you said, like AI generated, like I don't know if it's pulling out. And I tried to like do a post and keep it like super generic because I was a lot of the Dutch posts that I was making were getting flagged. So I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't like the word Dutch. So let me just like do a post that's super generic. I did one like Mustang idling or something, like just minimal hashtags, whatever else is. It got flagged for 2 things.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I know this is, I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm positive we talked about this. Like, this is where AI gets weird, right? Is it does not have that, like, maybe a good analogy would be, if you're dealing with somebody from a completely different country that doesn't speak the language, and everyone knows that English is kind of the trickiest because there's all these little nuances to what you say, you know? Like, I can say fuck off to you, and through my tone of voice, I'm not literally telling you to fuck off. I'm going like, no way, right?
So here's one. My car literally parked. It's not even a video. It's
Yeah.
parked on the street from the Pistons at the Georgetown Square last weekend. It's only
Yeah.
got 34 views, and it says, I'm not eligible for recommendation because of civic and election integrity is the first one. And the second one is dangerous activities and challenges. And it's like, fuck, I don't give a
What are
shit.
we
But like,
talking about?
meanwhile, right? Like the Miller Lite, or my center console mod in the F350,
Yeah,
which was
drinking and driving.
posted in other things where normally TikTok's like, oh, this was posted. This isn't like genuine content. That has 645,000 views.
Unbelievable. There's
Like,
yeah, there's no black and white to it. It's
no.
so gray. I actually, while you were explaining your thing, dude, I was able to pull this up. I'm getting a little better at running the back end of Facebook now. So, our technology detected that your page displays behavior or content that might indicate inauthentic engagement. As a result, your payout account is on hold. Like, what? Inauthentic? What like,
You're
and
a
in the
pervert, man.
I know, like, in a world that operates off of memes and everything else, and I see something and go, "Hey, you know what? I know there's a handful of other guys out there that think this was funny too. Fuck it, I'm gonna make this or whatever." Now I'm inauthentic. Like, what? And
Yeah.
it's the non-human touch that really sends this into a tailspin. But I mean, I don't know how you fix that. Like, well, get more humans in there, but I guess that cuts into profits because now you got more salaries or whatever. But it, I don't know. Like, this isn't good, you know? Or is it one of these things where, like, you're so busy because I mean, Facebook's got to be, or Meta has to be the biggest social media platform in the world, right?
I
Or
would think
close
so.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
So,
technically they're both Facebook and Instagram, so it has to be the largest.
right. So I guess from the Zuckerberg slash like upper management perspective, you're looking at the 50,000 foot view of you being the biggest and baddest in the world, and it's like, like all those little piss ants like me and you and whoever else out in the fucking weeds there. It's like, we're the biggest in the world. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Let them do whatever.
Well, shit.
But
So you had to hand over a bunch of personal information and details and all that, and get verified, and
yeah,
now they've got you.
I know, right? Yeah,
That's
I'm
always
in.
a little. That's always been the part of hesitation for me, which obviously now I am because, like, yeah, anything monetization related, as soon as they get your social, like, That's it.
You're done.
You know, so it's sort of like follow the money, as they say. But yeah, man, hopefully you can get that sorted out. Not that fucking Facebook pays very well, because they sure don't. Neither does YouTube, but Facebook pays way shittier than YouTube even does. But with that said, like whatever. Like I think I'm $75 on Facebook last month.
Right.
Yeah, at least some beer money.
Well, that's how I look at it too. I mean, I don't think this is gonna like, feed my family or anything, but it's 75 or whatever it is that you didn't have before. And again, just to redefine this, so it, because I still operate in the old school of like, you don't talk politics, religion, or money unless you know the company you're within. So just to re-explain myself, this isn't necessarily about the money side of things. It's just like I really and truly think that this monetization model is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
like, because your only cost or expense to technically pay me is just your view. That's it. No skin
Yeah.
off anyone's ass. Just a couple seconds of your life that you might not get back. But hell, maybe I made your day. Maybe I made you laugh. Maybe whatever. Right? Gave you an idea. Whatever it is. I really like that model.
All those sexual positions on a
Right.
snowboard.
Fuck man, I seen that one. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking gold. Right? Holy. And I mean, I take a lot of shit. Well, you've met my wife, she's a beauty, right? But I do, in a funny manner, take a lot of shit for this stuff. And actually, Joe, Screen Puff, he's probably the funniest because he's like, there was something I posted that had to do with wives and cars and whatever else. And he's like, okay, Gary, you get the belt. The fact that you tagged your wife in this too, I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, what fun is it if you don't? So I don't know. The world needs more giggles. You know what I mean? We're all pretty wound up, pretty tight. So
Yeah.
let's laugh a little bit and throw
Oh,
some car shit in there too.
yeah. No, that's good,
So
man. Well, hopefully you get it sorted out.
I know, right? And if not, I guess I'll just look like an uppity, pretentious dickhead with a blue check mark. I don't know.
Oh, maybe they'll take you more seriously.
Hmm. Maybe I don't know, or I don't know. Maybe now they just got me under more of a microscope, and I'm really fucked. I don't know.
Well, I have to say, like, when I finally decided, and this isn't that long ago, like it's maybe a month and a half, um, to do that, like my whole option for monetization and everything, like all happened like within weeks. Like, so there was some value in, I guess, going through
Doing it
that process. Um,
right.
and well, whatever. Like, and I actually kind of find myself, I guess, opening up to Facebook a little bit more, because like there is genuinely more like of our enthusiasts on that
There.
platform, because it's an older age platform now, right? So um yeah, and Instagram, I don't know, I it's almost like I'm getting bored of it or something. Like I feel like I used to love it, but it's just it shied away. Like it should have just been, you know, whatever, just the photos, just the whatever. And then like it's, I don't know, it's just sort of become redundant, I guess is the best way of putting it. So
Yeah.
the crazy thing that I don't like though, and like I validated this with actually my neighbors at Georgetown Classics. So you know how on Instagram you can post and then it'll automatically post to your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Well, your Facebook page won't automatically post to your Instagram, but your
Oh.
personal Facebook profile will,
Oh.
which I don't use my personal profile. Like, I still have people pissed off that I haven't accepted their friend requests. But yeah, it's kind of stupid because I almost, if they allowed the page to post to Instagram, I'd just stop using Instagram and I'd probably just use Facebook.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, like it is, I don't know. It's definitely something that you got to spend some time with. unless, you were one of the early, onboarders of it, and, you've been part of all the transitions, because I'm sure it wasn't as whatever confusing as it is now bailing into it. And about the only reason that I've gotten any better with it is just because I've had this back end struggle with it. So like now you've been through it so many times that you're starting to get the hang of it, but it's a way more comprehensive platform than Instagram. And for being the simple car guy that I am, that's what I liked about Instagram. It was just like, boom, send it, gone. I
Yeah.
still remember going, what are hashtags, right? Like, how the hell does this all work? Speaking of hashtags, I thought about this today when I put my post up. I'm like, remember there was pretty much like every day of the week was something that you could kind of nail down with a car related thing. Like Thumping Thursday, there was Mustang Monday, or Motor Monday was another one.
Throwback
I wanted
Thursday.
Throwback Thursday was another
Front
one.
end
Yeah, yeah.
Friday, all that shit. Yeah.
And you know who is still holding this like up there and making something of it is Angel, Cabernet Fox.
Mm.
He still does it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, I'm sure there's well, definitely folks that say just get an Instagram account today. They know nothing about this, but like all of us old heads, right, from the whatever 2015, 16, 17 era, it's like yeah, we went through all that back before it just now everything's pretty much forces you to do a video. Even if it's a still photo, it's trying to like get the live format of it and turn it into a fucking reel. It's like, no, just let me post the photo. That's it. Like old school photo album shit. Right. But those, they don't even like that. Like, it's definitely still photos aren't getting pushed or shown to
Yeah.
people that wouldn't normally follow you. Right.
Yeah. Fucking
Social media. I know, right? It is a very, very wild world. Um, yeah. The thing that still to this day amazes me to no end is, and it almost, I think I've reached a point with it where I'm like, okay, are some of these people that are dropping comments real humans? Like, and I know, like, people talk about bots and trolls and this and that, but like I'm being serious here, because like there's some shit. I mean, sometimes you can't even understand what the fuck a person has said in a comment. You're like, what? Like, is this your third language? What are you talking about? Or just the like absolutely outrageous claims, or for that matter, I mean, the digs too, right? You're just like, man, I can't even imagine what you do on a normal day to want to take time out of your life to say something like that. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I think there are a lot of those. Like, there's
Yeah,
genuinely a lot of trolls and people that don't have anything better to do.
miserable.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Like, cause I think Elon actually had a statistic about like however many like fake accounts were on X at one point.
Right. And it was staggering. Like
Yeah.
3/4 were just computerized bullshit.
Yeah.
That's fucked, hey? Yeah. I know,
Fake it
like
till you
yeah. Well, there was something I don't even really go into my 92LX page that kind of this whole thing, whatever. It was like the first page I started and whatever. But I did go in there, whatever, a couple weeks back, and there was something in the settings I went into that was referencing something about followers. And I can't remember if it was people I followed or they followed me, but something about how they're like they're not real accounts or something.
Hmm.
I'm like, what do you do with this? But and you could go through and like, I don't know if you told them to fuck off or what it was. It was something weird, but I don't know. I mean, I guess people either getting shit or just delete the app or whatever, like, especially when there's millions and millions of users, right? It's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. It really truly is an interesting world. And another one too, man, is I'll get stuff like, and I thought this died a long time ago, or maybe it just did with, us and our buddies and shit, but like the Ford versus Chevy versus Dodge bullshit. I'm like, are we still doing this? Like, what are you talking about? And funny enough, man, those on a post that's doing quite well, those will get hundreds of replies. Like, people go in there just to step into that ring and start swinging.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe you know
Oh,
what? Maybe you should make a post of the best motor oil.
oh, yeah, so true. It is that level of just craziness, though. Hey,
Yeah.
you go like, holy shit! If you could, somebody should make a. You remember that one video that went around of the guy making fun of what it's if Facebook Marketplace users were real people. Did you ever see this?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, fuck, man. It was pure gold. And somebody would like drive by in a car, roll the window down. Hey, is this still available? Yup. Peel out of there. Because that's the last you hear from them, right? In the app. And it was just one after another after another. Oh, man, it was perfect. But if you took that same idea and had like, hey, this is what this person in their meat suit actually looks like that just commented on something, right? Or like, this is the room they sit in, this is the life they live. Fuck, that'd be funny, because
Yeah.
there's some very interesting human beings out there. Very.
Very is an understatement.
Yeah. Well, anyway, dude, on that note, I guess maybe, yeah, let's let the good folks know that we're going to take a little break here, folks. If you've stuck it out to the end of us rambling on today, do a little holiday. Don't go anywhere. Maybe I don't know, just let the jizz build up, right? Don't be out there beating off somewhere else.
There we go.
And yeah,
Yeah, we'll
and
be
we'll
back.
be and better than ever, hopefully a little refreshed. And we'll definitely have lots of stories to tell in
Yeah.
both of our adventures. And because how long are you gone for?
Yeah, a couple weeks. I think you are
Right.
as well. So yeah, it'll be similar. We'll catch you
Yeah.
guys back mid-August or whatever before Labor Day.
Yeah. As some of the kids are going back to school, and yeah, before the Labor Day anyway, for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we'll leave her there. Hey,
Yeah.
thanks for listening, folks. And we'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Enjoy your summer.
Till next time.